You can imagine how excited we are around here getting this old 4.5 running, but we're not done yet. There's a couple things that are still very troublesome. One of them resides right here on this coolant short hose. Look at the cracks in that. That's very dangerous. That can split when you're going down the road. So we're not doing any road trips until we go through the cooling system. I open this up so you can see how bad it is. It's been leaking for a while, quite a while. Look at the hose. You can hardly even tell that's a hose. What I'm most concerned about now are these bolts that hold the housing. Those are going to be hard to remove, and I'm going to have to be really careful that I don't break those bolts. And I hope we don't have a problem with that housing down there. We got some corrosion that started underneath the hose. I can't stress enough that you want to approach these bolts with caution. They get corroded in the housing. It's not the threads. Fortunately, this one came out. You can see I soaked it with penetrant. I've been soaking this upper one with penetrant, and don't get an impact on these. Never use an impact, and if you're going to use a wrench, if it doesn't want to move, just stop. Let me show you a couple tricks that I use to try to break this loose before I bring in the big guns, which would be heat. First thing is you can use a hammer and a punch and try to shock the threads. And that's just taking a punch and putting on top the bolt. And then hitting it a few times. And I'll spray some more penetrant down in here. Now, the next thing is I use a breaker bar because I'm going to rock it back and forth. If you use a ratchet wrench, you're constantly clicking the top of it to change direction. I'm going to put this on here. I'm not going to get way out here. I'm going to get in here and I'm just going to rock it. Okay, let's see. Oh, wow. Then I'll tighten it up. Okay, I got it moving an 1/8 of an inch. That's it. Wow. No. Okay, I'm going to hammer on it some more. I'm going to put some more penetrant on there. But you see what you want to do. You want to loosen, tighten, and just keep working it until you get a little more. Never just reef on this with a lot of torque. You'll break the bolt right off. I've been working on this now for about 20 minutes. I keep soaking it with penetrant, moving a little bit more. Look at that. I think I got a little movement there. Heat's going to be my last resort because I'd have to protect a lot of this area. So I'll see. I'm not going to push it too hard. I'll bring it right in here. Look, I think I got it. It's back and forth. Okay. Haha. Success. Whew. There it is. Be forewarned, there's a third bolt there, and it's located under this elbow hose. So you have to get that off. And then we have one more bolt right here. No, same problem. This third bolt here, after a few wraps with a punch and hammer, came right out. And since I had already removed all these clamps, this just pulled right off. So the first thing we want to do here is inspect these surfaces for any severe pitting, because those are going to have to be cleaned up and inspected. We don't want the new hoses going on here to have any chance of leaking. There's some corrosion and some goop on there. Look at how hard this hose is. Oh man. Probably gonna have to break it to get it off. Yeah, it's just rotten. Can you understand why that is a disaster waiting to happen? Since you don't have any overheat warnings on these old engines, you really have to be careful with stuff like this. You can blow this going down the freeway. Before you know it, you'll fry your engine. All right, I'm going to take and clean this off. And then we'll get some sandpaper and check this over, as well as the nipple on that intake manifold. Look at that. This thing's a mess. It almost looks like someone tried to put some sealant under there. It's really thick. I've seen corrosion, build up like this, but I hope we can save this. If not too badly pitted, I'm just going to take a knife and we're going to start scraping. See how that comes off? So I'm going to scrape all this buildup off and hit it with sandpaper, and we'll see if this is savable. I think this is probably the worst one I've ever seen as far as buildup underneath the coolant hoses. Look at how much crud I scraped off. Isn't that amazing? And we're down to the aluminum now. We've got some minor pitting, but fortunately we don't have any great big heavy pits. So I think I can work on this a little bit more and we'll have a usable part here. I'm using 120 grit dry sandpaper. It's just the right grit to clean but not scratch so deeply. And if you want to do it faster, you can get these fiber-backed sanding belts in 120 grit and rip them in strips like this and go to town on this with it mounted in a vise. I found one of the best ways to clean these surfaces is to get this up in a vise, use protective jaws, and tear narrow strip. This is 120 grit belt sander paper, so it's very tough. And use it like this. You're just gonna work it, and then you can switch over. But what you want to do is make sure there's no deep pits. As I've said before, you can fill these deep pits with slow drying JB weld and resand them if you have to save the part. But this is looking very savable. So I believe this one's usable. Look at how clean it is inside. It's not all rusty and corroded inside. So that's a real good sign that the coolant situation, that engine, has probably not been neglected over time. And we'll keep polishing these away. And before I get ready to put this back on the engine, I want to show you the parts you're going to need to fix this properly. First, you have to get the right short hose. This is a specially designed hose. And notice how thick it is. And it has to be a very tight fit on the housings or they're going to leak. It also has to be soft. Regular radiator hose just isn't going to work. And along with that, you get 2 new clamps, the proper clamps, not those old US style clamps that hurt the rubber. And then you're going to need a new gasket. And I even throw in new wave washers. And the elbow hose, you got to replace that. Sometimes this is hard to find along with new clamps. And I include aviation Permatex for the paper gasket, and I even include some nickel anti-seize because you're going to put this on the threads and on the shafts of those 3 bolts when you install the housing back onto the engine. And while you're at it, I recommend you go ahead and replace the thermostat. That's another thing that really gets neglected. This repair is done. We're not finished yet. On to the next one.